I'm going to show you what I did to bypass the auto start stop on my truck. So I turned it off here, turned it back on. So I'm going to jump it out with this. It'll be the same thing as just holding this button on the whole time. So every time I start it up, it'll deactivate it. If you don't like your auto start stop function, ASS, sounds about right to me, then you can do this easy fix that will not damage your truck. I don't like the auto start stop function on my truck because where I drive it shuts off for like 2 or 3 seconds and it cuts back on. So it's kind of useless to me. Plus the 5-liter, it shakes the truck and hesitates. I looked into all the options and this one seemed to be the best and easiest to do. This switch here is a momentary on switch that syncs the input to ground. So it's basically jumping the black and white wire. So jumping out the switch is safe, and the vehicles that don't have this switch, you probably have to use something like the ForScan software to disable it in the module. The reason I didn't go that route was because it also, I think, it disables the battery management system from what I understand. So let me show you how to jump this out. To make this video faster, I went ahead and removed everything. Basically, you pop this cover off. It feels like you're going to break it when you take it off. You got 2 7mm screws back here that you need to remove. And then this part here, you have to pry this up and pop it off of this. It's got these 3 tabs. That also feels like you're going to break it. And then you remove these 2 screws here and then pull this forward. And when you pull this forward, you can reach back here and squeeze these tabs right here, and this switch will pop out. Now what we want to do is jump out the black and the white wire here, and we'll verify this switch. I'll take it inside and get my multimeter out and verify that that switch is those 2 wires. And then this wire here is most likely the light that comes on, and then this black and this other one is probably this switch, and this extra wire here is probably the light for that one. So we'll prove that that is the switch wire. Alright, so I'm going to test this switch here to make sure I'm on the right pins. And I put it on the 2 pins there and push the button, and you can see my meter go to 0 ohms. So it's a good switch. So it is those 2 wires. So I wanted to verify that before I did anything. And then what I'll do is I'll just cut a piece of this paper clip off and push it in here where the white and the black wires are, and that should keep it jumped out. Alright, so the first paper clip I grabbed was the too small a wire gauge, so I had to grab the bigger paper clip, and I cut a piece off and I bent it and I stuck it on the black and the white wire. There's little grooves right here that you can push the paper clip down into, and it stays in there pretty good. I was going to tape it, but I don't need to. It's staying in there pretty good, so that should work. And then just push that back in, put it all back together, and I'll show you that it works. Alright, well, I'm going to start it up and see what it does. And it's off. The only thing is you can't turn it back on. So that works for me.